Hey guys, welcome back to our talk about Chengdu and Chongqing. Last time we were honored to have Shaz and Frank join us to share their general feeling about the economic circle and the relationship between the two cities. We're all confident in the future for everyone living here. This time, let's go on with our discussion and dig deeper to share more personal attachments and stories, as well as the opportunities for them as foreign educators. Let's take a look.
When I first came to Chengdu, there was nothing in the south. I would say it felt like 2 or 3 years later, suddenly there's all these buildings in the south. An example here in Chengdu, there was an underpass being built. It took 3 months or 4 months for that to be built here. And I remember thinking, oh my God, in London that would have taken 4 or 5 years. You know, it would have taken ages, but here it just got done super quick.
You really got this modernity feel in the south, as opposed to the old downtown Chengdu. I really like this combination of old and new and modern and ancient kind of style.
Yeah, it's nice to have that balance, and to be honest, I hope that that never gets lost. I hope that as the city is developing and growing, that there's still some of the original character and architecture and that style that remains. For example, in Yulin, if I want to feel like old Chengdu, I'll go there. It's the area in Chengdu with the most expats and the most expat-related stuff, like restaurants and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, Chongqing is technically the largest city in China. It's sprawling. It's as far as geography, they're very different. I mean, Chongqing is very mountainous, where Chengdu is very flat.
I've been to Chongqing a few times when I was young. Every time I was in Chongqing, I was very impressed by how taxi drivers, especially when they're stuck in the traffic and they're going upwards. At that time, there was only like hand stick shift.
Right.
There's no automatic shift.
Yes.
If Vin Diesel need a stunt double for their Fast Furious movie.
Find it from Chongqing.
Yeah, just find one taxi driver from Chongqing.
Is it a bit like San Francisco with all the hills?
A little bit. They flattened out a lot, though. I mean, highways that have been opening up, many more tunnels. So, I mean, it's getting flatter and flatter as far as road work.
I see.
It's relatively easy to get around nowadays.
Other than being an English teacher, you've been working on some other stuff outside this range. And you've been working with some companies that's trying to help expats find a job or dealing with their working visa issue or stuff like that. As more and more international expats moving to Chengdu and Chongqing, I mean, how do you see Chengdu as an environment for foreign employees?
There's been a lot of effort. Like, for example, the PSB has had some initiatives to encourage foreign business owners and entrepreneurs to develop businesses here or in partnership with Chinese companies. And there's been incubators will help, like, for example, offer free office space for foreign-owned companies and entrepreneurs to start doing their work and reduce some of the paperwork and hurdles for them to operate here, which is great.
There's certainly opportunities for international business. I see people coming. Corning Glass actually has a factory not far from Beibei. The actual Corning in New York is where my parents are from. My grandfather used to work for Corning Glass, and sure enough, I go down the road and there's actual Corning. It's pretty neat. There's an American flag and a Chinese flag, and for me, it was exciting to even see that company here, and they actually have a factory in Chongqing of all places. So.
We've done a video about teacher here in Sichuan University. She's teaching the Chinese ancient literature courses.
Yeah. Of course, there's a novelty value of having a foreign teacher teach something very Chinese, like ancient Chinese literature. But from my point of view, it's more important that if she brings some good ideas and she's good at it, that's the value that the students can get from it. It's great to see universities having more opportunities for kids to experience different ways to learn, different influences like that.
I've really been establishing myself as a good model for STEM and STEAM education here in Chongqing. So the only difference between STEM and STEAM, it's science, technology, engineering, math, and STEAM just recognizes that art can be part of that process too. I do a lot of hands-on teaching where, I introduce topics and then people actually do things. And I've just been blown away by how well received it's been by pretty much every teacher who I've worked with. They're like, we love this. And I love to see that they're interested in learning more about it. So certainly some very interesting opportunities that Chongqing has afforded me here. So I've appreciated that.
Education is a service that is provided for kids, and it should be, in my opinion, as an educator, tailored towards those kids, giving them some benefits in not just their knowledge and what they know, but how to use it, how to apply it, how to think. There's been some positive steps, I think, here to expand the scope of what the education system entails,
I heard about this joke. It's just a joke, and don't get offended if you're not like that. There's like a husband asking his wife, he's gonna hang out with his pals, spend the night with them. Chengdu wife will be just like, you just go ahead, don't worry about it. By the way, you don't have to come back home if you finish late. Don't come back home. Chongqing wife will be just like, I'm gonna break your head. I'm gonna break your leg if you ever step out of that door.
Yeah. Actually, to be honest, that makes me want to visit Chongqing more.
Yeah.
I like that. I appreciate that.
I can't say that again, maybe it could be the language barrier too, so I might not get all the subtleties, but
Yeah.
my wife seems direct enough. So we'll see.